Recurrent training. You may have heard people in your facility talking about it or read about it in a newsletter. But do you really know what this new training program is all about? Recurrent training is about you. It's about your profession and your proven expertise in running the safest, most efficient aviation system in the world. Stay on top of our game, we need to be at the forefront of today's most important safety issues. This is why the FAA and NATCA have come together to collaborate on the National Safety Training Program known as Recurrent Training.
Okay, so I often get asked about when are we going to be proactive about safety? And clearly there is a very sophisticated answer that involves gathering data, analyzing data, identifying issues that are not easily seeable from a national point of view, and then develop effective corrective actions. And that is the long-term solution towards a long-term proactive safety management. But something that we can do here and now is empower local people to discuss the subject. Local controllers and local managers know well ahead of any Washington analyst what their local issues are. And if you provide the opportunity for folks to collaborate around identification and solution of those problems, you will get ahead of many of our potential issues, and that's proactive management of safety. We need to empower that, and we're doing just that with our Partnership for Safety coming up and getting launched here in October again.
We are starting to see locals very encouraged and embracing the safety culture and the classroom environment that they've been able to have the strong conversation around safety in, and put up groups together to address those local issues in a meaningful way. So we encourage that, just as Joseph said, that will enable us to be in front of the issues sooner than waiting for the data at a Washington, D.C. office and then forcing something down into the field.
So I would say that the collaboration around safety between NATCA and management is very deep right now. It certainly started out around that SAP, but today it involves participation in just about every aspect of what we do. In training programs, in risk assessment programs, in our national office, in our regional offices. We are encouraging that at the local level. There is clear participation and active engagement at every level of the organization.
One of the key concepts in our recurrent training classes and involvement to a safety culture is trust. In order to really have a healthy relationship that's built on trust, you have to start with collaboration. If you don't work together first and learn to work through difficult situations and difficult problems, you're not going to build the trust that you need to really move into a true safety culture. Collaboration takes a lot of work. It takes a level of mutual respect and understanding, certainly the ability to identify interests and get beyond those and figure out what we can accomplish together. That is a lot of work. It's difficult, and it is at different levels in different facilities. There are pockets of incredible amounts of good work happening in a very collaborative way, and there are other areas where we still have a lot of work to be done. It's a new and different concept, so we're still trying to work those issues. The key is to continue to model the right behavior around a collaborative environment to move towards that safety culture, and then to push that down and show that it really is a commitment by those of us on the NACA side and the agency side as well as industry.
I'm not sure that there's a quick answer towards trust. I mean, trust is a long-term investment that is more about the things you do than the things you say. And if over a long period of time your rhetoric is matched by the things you do, that exudes trust, because people know that what you say is what you're going to do. And to me, that's when those things get matched over a long period of time and you are predictable, or you can be predictable, then you have trust.
In a 24/7 operation like air traffic control, where focus is very important, vital, every single time you're in the operation, every time you're plugged in, it is difficult to take the time that is needed to have those difficult discussions away from the operation that can really enhance safety, that can lead you to throwing around ideas that become real tangible things that can be then worked at the facility level, the local level, or pushed up to the national level where we can readdress it in another iteration of refresher training. That is important, that we have that classroom environment to have those discussions, that time away from the operation to have those discussions. I know it's difficult because we have staffing concerns in every facility, and we have a lot of rollout of different things, including next-gen technologies and new procedures. But this is all important. It's all connected. What we don't want to have happen is that we leave the classroom and have those discussions that are very important to enhance safety and nothing come of it. If there's commitments made in that room, if there's local leadership that are tasked to change the way they're doing things, then they need to do that.
So to me, recurrent training is a return on investment. We've put a lot of effort on both sides to have individuals, the best that we can, developing ETSAP, developing risk analysis, working on developing new training modules, studying things that happen in the NASA on a daily basis. And we have an obligation to return that learning back to the front line so that we don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So recurrent training is an opportunity to take the last 6 months worth of learning and return that to the front line in the best possible training we can, and to get folks to understand how to prevent those things from continuing to happen. So it, to me, is absolutely essential that we become a learning organization and that we invest in passing to the front line those things that we already know in the safety office.
If we want to stay on top of our game, we need to be at the forefront of today's most important safety issues. This is why the FAA and NATCA have